Great news, it seems, out of Detroit. Fred Ligouri is on the line right now from Chevrolet, and there's a big show going on out in Detroit right now. Fred, good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
Thanks for coming on. So, I was telling these guys about how it used to be back in the 70s. Everybody's younger than me. So in the 70s, no one would think of a foreign car because you couldn't get parts, and, American cars were just the best. And then we went through this stage in the 80s and 90s, but, man, it seems like we are back.
Chevy has its groove going.
Yeah.
Between the Bolt EV winning North American Car of the Year this week, the Motor Trend Award, which we won previously, and a slew of others. It's just an all-out game changer we're really proud to bring to the market, and just adds to a lineup of already great vehicles.
So tell me about this Chevy Bolt EV. It's the electric car. Is this full electric, or is it the high? What is this?
No, this is a 100% pure electric vehicle.
Wow.
There is, to date, been nothing like it in the industry, given the range that it's capable of, 238 miles combined range on a single charge, and that is at a starting price of $37,495 before any benefits from federal or state tax incentives.
Wow.
And that combination hasn't been available before.
No, this is, and we were talking earlier because we didn't know what kind of range this vehicle had. It used to be, boy, you could go 45, 50 miles. Well, that just doesn't work unless it's just an around-the-town vehicle for you. But this has some range.
Oh, absolutely. We are more than double the range, anything in its price range, and then roughly half to a third of the cost of anything that runs comparable distance. So you think about 238, that's a huge number, right?
Yeah.
Most of us drive 40 miles or less per day. I mean, personally, I can go multiple days before I need to plug my vehicle in, but then once I do, it's in the comfort of my own garage, bypass the gas station. It's just really convenient, too, to be able to drive an electric vehicle like this one.
And talk about the torque. These vehicles, it really, I mean, you think, well, it's an electric vehicle, it's just not going to have any speed, any pickup, any torque. Not the case here.
I couldn't be farther from the truth. The reality of it is we've got a 200 horsepower electric motor that pushes out about 266 pound-feet of torque. That's good for 6.5 second sprint to 0 to 60 times, and that is enough to really push you back in your seat. It is a lot of fun to drive.
So you can get a ticket with us.
Well, I hate to admit to anything on the air, but yes, I can attest. It is possible. Therein
lies a negative. It can happen. And what about I got one of the big negatives of getting into one of the hybrids or the electric vehicles in the past has been the price. But you guys are in range here. This is a real doable price.
Absolutely. So the average new car sold in the U.S. across all segments is roughly $34,000. When you look at the cost of our Bolt EV, it starts at $37,495. If you have the ability, depending on your tax situation, to benefit from the full federal tax credit of $7,500, that drops the starting MSRP below $30,000. And then I think in the state of New York there, you guys recently got a state tax incentive as well for EV purchases.
Wow. How about availability on these?
Yeah, so we started deliveries in California and Oregon last month in December 16. That comes 11 short months after we unveiled the production version here at the Detroit Auto Show last year. For New York buyers, you guys can expect to see the car this winter. Okay.
All right, Fred, thanks for the time, and this is good news.
Thanks for having me on, Bill.
Okay. Not good news if you, I guess you own a gas station or something like that. But at the end of the day, we were saying the best these cars can do is 50 miles. This thing goes 240 some odd miles.
I think 283 was the number he said, but that's good. That's full tank of gas range.
Yeah. And I guess I wanted to know, I should have asked, how long for a charge? How long does it take to get a full charge? Because, the reality is you can go 250 miles on a car, and you fill it up, and you're gone in 5 minutes. How long does it take to charge these?
Interesting, yeah.
I should have asked that. Darn it all.
There's some places in Syracuse I know that have these charging stations.
Also, no, they're here.
Oh, in Utica, yeah, too.
Yeah, there's
parking spots for electric cars
around here. Yeah,
and Governor Cuomo announced last week that his plan is to add more of these charging stations on the New York State Thruway.
One of the first ones that went up, the first charging stations that went up here, I think, was over at Price Chopper, just down the street here. But there are, I don't want to say several, but there are several. There are a handful of locations around here where you can get them charged, and not many people have the cars, so it's not like you're sitting there with a big wait. All right, hold tight.